One of the big movements in the last few years in the fitness industry has been warning people against low-calorie diets, and this is certainly a good thing because there's no shortage of really bad coaches who have destroyed people on these generic cookie-cutter plans. The problem with this, however, is it's turning into people being terrified to drop their calories, and it's important you know that just because you drop your calories doesn't mean you're going to destroy your metabolism. I mean, yes, it's true. When you drop your calories, your metabolic rate's going to slow down. You're going to see negative adaptations in hormones, and this all makes it easier to regain weight after if you're not careful. But your metabolism doesn't become damaged, it just becomes suppressed. And that suppression can be reversed if you do things right. So it's not like you can't go low calorie, you just need to know when it's appropriate and when it's not, which I will cover later in this video, but right now I want to explain why low calories tends to screw a lot of people up. What happens is they drop their calories super low right away, their metabolism adapts to this like it always will, weight loss stops, they get frustrated, give up, go back to their old eating habits with their metabolism slower now, and the weight piles back on. This won't happen though if you take your time increasing calories systematically to allow your body to keep up with the increase of calories. This process is called reverse dieting, which I'm not going to go into a lot of detail in this video because I have a ton of videos on this. In fact, in the description below, I have a link to a playlist you can check out after this video, which will cover everything you need to know about it. Just know this is when you take your time increasing calories over time to allow your metabolism to play catch up, and this process is critical if you want to get your calories back up after dieting without gaining a bunch of weight back. Anyway, one thing that's often misunderstood is low calories is relative. It's different for everybody. For one person, 1800 calories might seem like starvation. For another person, 1800 calories might seem like an impossible amount of food to eat. Obviously, the size of someone factors in here, but even if you take people with the exact same stats, this can still be the case based on things like genetics, activity levels, and diet history. So just because some random person tells you that you shouldn't ever go below X amount of calories, that's not necessarily true for you. And sometimes to reach your goals, you will have to get to uncomfortably low calories, but it's important to know 3 things about this. One is that ultra low calories should only be a temporary situation and not something you do for a long period of time. 2, if you try it and you can't realistically stick to the low calories, don't force it and stay there because this is when you're in danger of some really bad things happening. And 3, it's very rare that you should start a cut on very low calories. For most people, this should be something that eventually you get to as the diet progresses. And this is because there's a few problems with going low calorie right away. One is if you lose weight too fast, you jeopardize losing much more than body fat, you'll lose a lot more lean body mass. So for most people, you want to stick to about 1% or less of your body weight on average per week, or maybe up to 2% for those who are obese. And keep in mind, even if you don't really care about a lot of muscle, you still want to keep what you have because it's metabolically taxing. So the more lean body mass you sacrifice, the slower your metabolism gets, and your body composition will suffer as well. 2 is your body adapts to whatever you do. So if you start with super low calories, sure, you might lose weight pretty quickly in the beginning, but again, you're gonna sacrifice more than just fat, but eventually you won't be able to see progress on these calories. But because you're barely even eating as it is, you have no room to make adjustments to get the process working again. Because of this, you wanna eat as many calories as possible and do as little cardio as possible while seeing appropriate results. So when the body does adapt, you can continue to make adjustments and keep the process working well. I know fast weight loss is exciting and it's motivating, but it's also the thing that keeps a lot of people stuck. And 3 is the lower you drop your calories, the more restrictive you're gonna have to be with your diet, making it less sustainable. And because of this, you're gonna be more likely to rebel against it or give up altogether. So remember, to lose the weight and keep it off, this has to be a lifestyle and not some mad dash to the finish line. Now don't go anywhere because I am gonna give you some strategies you can take to help avoid making your metabolism slow down as much when dieting. Plus at the end of this video, I'm gonna show you how low calorie is too low. But first I wanna talk about how to know if you should or shouldn't go low calorie. And really, there's 2 sides to this story. On one hand, there's some people that probably should drop their calories, but they're too nervous to do so and they stay stuck. On the other hand, there's people who can't even adhere to the calories they're on now, but because they're not losing weight because they keep overeating, they drop their calories even more, and this is a disaster waiting to happen. What I mean is this, there's plenty of people who will be stuck and they will stay doing the exact same thing even though they're being consistent, and they will do it not only for weeks but even months, getting absolutely nowhere because they're scared to lower their calories. If you're being consistent and you're stalled out, this means you're at your new maintenance calories because your body is adapted and you need to make some changes. So if that is you and you don't have problems adhering to the plan, then maybe drop your calories by around an average of 100 to 200 calories per day, and that might just get things going for you, or even better yet, take a diet break first and then come back, but I'll touch more on that later. The point here is, don't avoid dropping your calories because you're afraid of screwing up your metabolism. This is what you're gonna need to do to get the results you're after, and you can always reverse diet when you're done to undo the suppression of your metabolism. On the flip side though, if you're struggling to stick to the plan and you're really hungry, tired, cranky, etc., this means your body's fighting you pretty hard, so dropping your calories at this point is gonna be more likely to set you up for binging tendencies, plus making these side effects even worse. So be honest with yourself if dropping calories is realistic for you or not, and if it's not, do not be stubborn. Reverse diet out and live to fight for the rest of the weight loss another day. Similarly, do not stay down at these lower calories because you're afraid of gaining weight by reverse dieting out, as doing this will only lead you to feeling miserable all the time. Not only that, but this makes it more likely for you to binge, and staying at the lower calories with binging in between is more likely to make you gain more weight than an actual reverse diet. If you stay low calorie, you're just gonna stay stuck in this exact place forever, and I don't want that for you. On the other hand, a mistake some people make is thinking, well, I can just reverse diet afterwards anyways, so I might as well just crash diet really hard and then I'll just reverse things out and get my metabolism back into a better place after. The problem with that is how you're feeling going into a diet is going to be very different than how you feel afterwards, as the diet after the diet is always the hardest part. It's just a totally different ballgame when your hormones are all jacked up and you're tired and you're hungry and you're over it and your body is fighting you and talking to you loud. Sticking to the reverse can be extremely difficult. So I don't want it to sound negative. I just want you to understand and be prepared for this, because most people feel like this is the easiest part and it's actually the hardest. You need to treat the reverse diet period like it's an extension of your cut until hunger signals and everything starts to return back to normal and you can be more intuitive again. Okay, with that out of the way, as I mentioned previously, there are some strategies you can take to keep your metabolism in a better place and not have to drop so low calorie. And you do this by including things like diet breaks and refeeds. With refeeds, what I like to do is give consecutive day refeeds, oftentimes 5 days of lower calories and then 2 days around maintenance, and they have to be back-to-back days to get these hormonal and metabolic benefits. And not only has this been shown to keep you in a better spot metabolically, but also keep more lean body mass, all while giving you the mental break of being able to enjoy more food too. It's also a good idea to every handful of weeks do something called a diet break, where you take a week or two and eat around maintenance and keep those calories up, maybe bring your cardio down a little bit too by maybe 33 to 50%. And this really helps kind of reset your hormones, reset your metabolism, get you back into a better place physiologically, so when you come back, it'll be more effective. Plus, you get some nice mental benefits of not feeling like you need to diet all the time. Your body can only take so much stress from the dieting, and dieting is a big stress on the body, so you need to give it a reason to back off and let its guard down every once in a while. Okay, last thing you need to be aware of when it comes to low calorie diets, and it's arguably the most important part. This is knowing how many calories are too low and what some of the warning signs are. So to get that detail, make sure you check out this top video and I'll take you through this step by step. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you at that other video.